Okay then, hello there everybody, good morning. My name is Sunil Naphray, NLP practitioner, transformational life coach and certified clinical hypnotherapist, here representing lifegenius, which essentially is a coaching company whereby we offer lots of different techniques and strategies to help people to learn, heal, grow and transform their lives. And as you probably guessed from our YouTube channel, we are very, very proactive in having various guests on our podcast who can actually help us to bring about more awareness on particular life issues, lifestyle issues. And obviously here with my exceptional guest, Mustafa Sasmaz, who is, I believe, a prominent thought leader and also an expert in philosophy and many other very, very important dimensions of life. So I'd like to just to extend a very warm welcome to Mustafa onto our podcast. Hello, Mustafa.
Good morning, Sunil. Hello. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's always an absolute great pleasure to have you on our podcast because, you really do help to, broaden out the discussion, particularly in our Mastering the Mind series, where we're taking a deep dive into many, many aspects of the mind. And it is an area of our being, which I think should warrant more of a discussion, more of, I would say, personal discovery, exploration, because it's the mind that really governs everything, really. If we don't master our mind, if we don't understand it, then we're not gaining the full potential of life and what life can actually do for us. And so hopefully with this podcast, we are spreading that awareness across the world to help inform and maybe even to educate our viewers. And, throughout this, we really would like our viewers to be able to make any comments in the comments box below. We've got all of the details in our content description as to how you can contact myself if you wanted to talk further about anything to do with our Mastering the Mind series, or if you directly would like to get in touch with my special guest, Mustafa, then obviously Mustafa's contact details are on there as well. Okay, fantastic. So we got to go straight in then, Mustafa. So I'm just going to spend a little while just going through a short presentation on how you can influence your subconscious mind to achieve your goals. And I think based on your feedback from the previous podcast, which was excellent feedback, it's basically trying to look at some contextual examples of how we can actually try to use our subconscious mind for our full benefit as human beings on this planet, trying to live the life in its absolute fullest, in its all its glory and all its potential. And so basically, I want to start off by saying, I just want to basically start off by just giving you a very, very quick scenario to introduce the influence of one's subconscious mind in an everyday life matter. So, for example, let me just tell you a little story. I went on holiday last year, beautiful place in South Wales called Pembrokeshire, and I thought, fantastic. I've arrived at a local seafood cafe, and yes, it was one of the days when cafes were open, the pre-COVID lockdown days. Just hungry, having travelled around, completely starving, and then arriving at a local seafood cafe somewhere in Pembrokeshire, thinking, fantastic. I'm now going to get myself a fish sandwich or something of that nature. Something that I'd really like to eat because I've really earned it, from walking around, going to cathedrals, castles in the morning. Now I'm hungry now. Okay. So what happened was I ordered my fish sandwich and I managed to grab a lovely little spot outside by the ocean. And I was ready to indulge in my reward because I felt it was a reward because I'd been, working hard in the morning, sightseeing, obviously. And then as I opened my sandwich, I immediately became disgusted, okay? Because there was a huge spoonful of tartar sauce on it, on my piece of salmon, smoked salmon. Oh, hang on a minute. I didn't order a fish sandwich with tartar sauce on there. I don't like tartar sauce. It's bitter. It's just sour. It's just not what I want. So all of a sudden, from being completely starving, I lost my appetite. Okay. Now, as you probably guessed, I cannot stand tartar sauce. Okay. Even if I see something creamy like mayonnaise, okay, which is similar to tartar sauce, it triggers disgust in me. I mean, I'm more of your tomato ketchup, salsa, peri-peri sauce type of person. I'm not really, if I had to put some kind of sauce in my sandwich or burger, that's my go-to. Not something creamy like mayonnaise or tartar sauce. Now, this feeling isn't rational, obviously, because I was hungry and then I lost my appetite. So the disgust response was developed as a defense mechanism to stop our early ancestors from eating poisonous foods. So that's where that feeling came from. But I know for a fact that the tartar sauce on the sandwich is actually harmless. It's not going to do me any harm at all. In fact, can't really even explain why I find tartar sauce so disgusting and repulsive, especially when the vast majority of people love it. Maybe it's something I might like over time. I know when I was a child, I couldn't stand eating green garden peas or eating anything which was cheesy. Well, I actually love peas now and cheese. And in one of my favorite Indian vegetarian dishes is matar paneer. Matar is peas, paneer is cheese in a curry sauce. That's one of my favorite vegetarian dishes. So tell me, maybe Mustafa could explain why I like it now, but before I hated it. So that's obviously for our discussion once we get into that. Now, when I look at this, I'm thinking, well, what's going on? And I'm thinking, well, it could well be the difference between my disgust and my love for something could be simply down to the influence of our subconscious mind. This is the only explanation that I can see why I suddenly switched like this, okay? And maybe in the future, if I switch back and I like tartar sauce on my fish sandwiches, then that could well be the power of the I believe it will be the power of the subconscious mind to be able to change it if I wanted to change it. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the impact and the power and the influence of one's subconscious mind, okay? Now, just want to talk a little bit about this. I can't talk enough about the subconscious mind, and I want to talk a little bit more about it before I go into some practical examples of how we can use this for our own benefit. The subconscious mind undoubtedly is powerful. It is exponentially, hugely, categorically powerful part of who we are. And I don't believe that we've fully harnessed it yet or understand its full potential. Now, you have undoubtedly felt the same emotional reaction as my feeling of disgust in your life across a range of emotions based on different situations. For me, it was tartar sauce. For you, it might be money, it might be love, it might be relationships, it might be friendships, it might be something tangible like a house or a car. It could be some intangible thing like maybe a conversation or something like that. So it's all, it all depends on us and our individual situations and circumstances. So there's 3 things I want to say here. Number 1, it could be a fear of the dark, okay? Even when you know you're in a safe area, you still feel scared, okay? Number 2, it could be a feeling of trust. Even if you don't know why you trust the person or why you don't trust them, that could also be debatable too. And thirdly, it could be about getting defensive about something. You may know the person really well. They could be your partner, your friend, family member, okay? Someone very close to you, but then suddenly you get defensive. And then you may not realize you might be offending them in sharpening your tone, and your eye contact is more piercing. There's something inside us governing that behavior, okay? So the reason this happens is because you have consistently reinforced messages to your subconscious mind about what to be afraid of, who to trust, and what you might be insecure about. Okay, you might not know that this is what you've done to the subconscious mind, but your mind is there to protect you, to keep you in a safe place. And this is what the subconscious mind has then done. So you will communicate these beliefs, feelings, and ideas into your subconscious mind no matter what. Okay? You can't control exactly what comes out of process, but you can lead it in the right direction by sending it the right messages. So if, for example, you think that there's something that is now, stopped me from doing something, like in my case, having tartar sauce, then maybe what I need to do is I need to say, well, I don't have any issue with having any other type of sauces. Why is tartar sauce a problem? So it may well be something in my past, in my history, or it may be something, I don't know, in my pathology, in my cultural background, that we don't do mayonnaise, we don't do this. So I don't know what the answer is. So that's something for me to be able to think about, and maybe go again to that same place in next year once we're out of lockdown. Try it again, see how I feel. Absolutely, because it's that kind of practice and awareness that we need to bring into a situation to make a change. And maybe I need to do something to make that particular change. So by doing so on a habitual basis and on a constant basis, you can change your decision making to a point where it is automatic and effortless to make the right decisions. Okay? Now, unfortunately, the subconscious mind doesn't understand language, making it difficult to influence. What it does understand are images, emotions, and feelings, especially under certain brainwave patterns. And that's something Mustafa and I will do in another podcast. We will look at particular brainwaves like theta brainwaves and alpha, etc. We will look at those brainwaves in another podcast because they are extremely powerful and you can access them in meditation, but that's for another segment, okay? But we're sticking with subconscious mind and its influence in this particular one. This is why, for example, I'm giving you some examples now. This is why athletes and high performers spend time visualizing success. So let me ask the audience the question, a rhetorical question, have you ever had to visualize something that you want to do? Visualize a house, you want to buy a house. Visualize the business. Visualize getting married, that wedding day, or having children, or being a parent. Okay? Have you visualized doing a project of some sort? So I'm sure sometimes with the visualization may happen in our dreams or when we're having meditation. Okay? But this is the whole thing, that when you're visualizing, this is where your subconscious mind can work for you, because it's there. It's a creative space. It is a space of ingenuity, of creativity, of enormous creative power. And this is what people like high performers, athletes, people who want to become creative. If I'm in my line of work, I mean, I'm an educator, or I develop courses. There's no way I can develop anything without trying to see it and then mapping out what I'm seeing. And it may well be keywords, key modules. I can't just do it out of thin air. I have to activate some part of my mind to get the initial thoughts and inspiration. And then my subconscious mind then tells me, you need to talk to Mustafa. You need to talk to this person, that person, this expert. Okay? So this is also part of visualizing, okay? Trying to make that visual aspect of reality. So it's more than just a practice of building confidence. Building confidence is important. It is a way to influence your subconscious mind to help make those split-second decisions for you to be able to then take action. Now, to do this yourself, this is where I'm getting a bit more practical now, okay? Now, as I mentioned, I represent modalities such as neuro-linguistic programming, mindfulness meditation, hypnotherapy, emotional freedom technique, all part of the complementary alternative medicine field, the CAM field. And for me, if you really want to activate your subconscious to be able to become a millionaire, to be able to become a good parent, to evaluate something, and you want to do better at something, you want to increase your performance, you've got to get into a state of relaxation. I repeat, you've got to get into a state of relaxation, whether you are just still in the moment, okay, whether you are just being mindful in the moment or whether you put yourself under guided meditation to achieve ultimate relaxation, where you're not thinking about the humdrum of the day and this thing and that thing and my phone and blah, blah, blah. You're not worried about that. You're cleaning your mind just to have the clarity, okay? It may well be under guided hypnotherapy to get that relaxed state. So this is where the subconscious mind is worked with through suggestibility. This is what I do, and other clinical hypnotherapists would do to activate the subconscious mind. So when you are fully relaxed, your conscious mind doesn't need to respond to external stimuli and be on high alert. I repeat, when you are fully relaxed, your conscious mind doesn't need to respond to external stimuli and be on high alert. This is really critical here. So this allows your subconscious mind to take over and gives you an opportunity to influence it. Okay? So in our previous podcast, this is where we looked at the iceberg model, and the bit that's protruding out the water is the things that you can visually and you can see and feel, like language, for example. But then underneath, which is a part of the subconscious mind, are things like your attitudes and your beliefs and your prejudices, your biases, etc. And this is where the grey matter can really, really work for you. But this is the area you need to be going in to be able to, because it may well be your attitude, it may well be a belief that is stopping you from doing something. There may well be a belief that you have a negative belief about business, about money, about children, about whatever it might be, banking, people, whatever it is, that could be stopping you from moving forward to achieve something that will benefit you, your health, your life, your loved ones, your friends, whatever it might be, okay? Or for you to be on purpose, for you to fulfill why you are here on this planet, okay? And essentially, I'm just going to explain, this is the kind of, a four-stage exercise that I would do as a practical measure to help a client to access their subconscious mind through relaxation for them to achieve whatever they want to achieve, okay? So you could be thinking, well, Sunil, that's fine. I would like to become a millionaire. I want to become a fabulous parent. I want to be able to start my own new online business. I want to be able to get a better job. I want to be able to save my marriage. I want to be able to then, begin the process of starting my own family, okay? But there's so many things going on. Fine, no worries. Everybody has their own personal life objectives. And through this exercise, I'm going to now show you through 4 steps how you can access your subconscious mind through relaxation. Number 1, move to a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. And you might think, oh my God, is that all? Well, no, if you think about it, when do you have your own time, your own space, away from family, away from the children, away from your partner, away from social media? Just, because social media is a massive influence and part and parcel of everyone's daily lives, okay? So, lie down on your back with your feet slightly apart, arms slightly extended from your body, palms facing down. Make sure you're as comfortable as possible. You don't want anything to distract you from relaxing. So yeah, all these things I'm telling you to do, find the quiet space to do it. Number 2, fix your eyes on a point on the ceiling. Begin by taking 3 long, deep breaths. And normally what I like to do with what I call, like, in terms of controlled breathing, normally I take in, say, 3 breaths, and then I double out the exhale. So if I breathe in 3 to a count of 3, I will exhale out to a count of 6. So for example, breathe in 3, breathe out 6. And again, I'd repeat it 2 more times. So then I'm fixated to a point in the ceiling. And then I would exhale, okay? And then I would make sure that all my worries and stress that have come from the external stimuli through my conscious mind has gone. So I can put the conscious mind to bed for a bit, then I can then get into my subconscious part of the mind to do the work that I need to do, okay? Number 3, take, again, 7 more deep breaths each time, imagining yourself sinking deeper into your bed or your sofa or wherever you're lying, okay? With each breath, think yourself going deeper and deeper as your body becomes more relaxed, okay? And if you're not feeling relaxed, you need to continue with the breathing. 3 in, 6 out. And if you wanted to, if you felt comfortable, you could extend it to say 4 in, 8 out, or 5 in, or 10 out. But obviously just be aware that you're not putting any stress because you're having to breathe in and out for periods of time that you're not really familiar with, all right? So when you reach this state of relaxation, your subconscious mind doesn't need to work as hard on things like moving muscles, tracking motor functions, regulating your temperature. So it has your full attention, and that's what you need to do. And ask yourself this question: when do you give your mind its full attention? Because it's your mind that's going to do the work, and in particular, your subconscious mind is going to actually do the work that you want it to do what you need to do. Now, in scientific terms, your brain switches from producing beta waves, which are produced at your highly conscious state, and it begins producing theta waves. And it's these waves that actually naturally relieve stress and allows us to influence our subconscious mind. So like I said before, myself and Mustafa, we will do another podcast that will look at these brainwaves in more detail, okay? Because then we're getting more into the nitty-gritty of the situation. Number 4, once you reach complete relaxation, begin to visualize your perfect day. Do you ever visualize and plan for this is how I want my day to turn out? Rather than let life and the day and other people and social media get a grip of you in your conscious mind and let you roll with the day without you being mindful of what's happening, have you thought about visualize? Which is why, you know, people, and I will say, and lots of other people will say, who are into this area of work, start your day by being still, by being relaxed. Better still, do some meditation, okay? Then you'll really begin to then see the wood from the trees. Something for me, my anchor sometimes, if in the morning, if I've done some meditation, a bit of exercise, I've planned my day, if I have a relaxing bath and I put theta wave meditation music on, or I'm listening to Baroque music, which has been known to accelerate learning and get clarity. You know, for me, I think of the best ideas when I'm in the relaxed state in the bath. I really do, okay? And you all need to find your zone to do it. And that is the biggest hack. You know, there's so many things you can do, but how do you get into the state of doing it without relaxing? You've got to relax first, okay? So, because this is where you can then start to envision an ideal version of yourself. When do you ever get the time to plan the ideal version of you? When is your life about you and not everything else and everybody else? Yes? And I'm a very, very, as a life coach, transformational life coach, I am a massive proponent of keeping your own glass full, being the best version of you, and making sure that everything else doesn't take away from you, and then you just feeling that you're just being led. You're being the follower, not the leader of your life. Okay, so you know you should wake up in the morning and immediately be on top of your game, visioning what kind of day you want. I mean, I've already visioned what day I'm going to have. Once I've done my podcast with my good friend and colleague Mustafa, I will get ready and I'm going to go for a nice, lovely long trek because the mountains are beckoning for me now. The weather's fantastic here in the UK this morning, and I'm going to be doing that. Something I've not been able to do for months because of lockdown, but now I'm going to do it. I've visioned it, okay? Because I just want to get on top of the mountain because that's when I know I'll be able, that's my subconscious mind working for me. The fact that the mountain is there because of my subconscious mind, because I've planned it and I've made it work for me. Then when I'm on top of the mountain, I'm going to be in a relaxed state. I'm going to be mindful, and I'll be able to think of other things I want to do in a relaxed state. Okay. So imagine yourself as somebody who is trying, maybe you just imagine yourself as a top athlete going through your workout with intensity and focus. Imagine yourself getting to work early, for example, accomplishing your goals and getting results. You imagine that you've got kids to look after, you're homeschooling, You know, plan your homeschooling. I mean, you are now the teacher. If parents are homeschooling their kids, you are practically their teacher. And I've done teaching for 27 years and I still do. You have to plan your plan the learning that you want. Plan the conversations you want with your learners. What outcomes do you want? Plan it, visualize it. This is where the subconscious mind is used, okay? So you want to plan, start a new business. You want to write your business plan, then visualize it, what it looks like in your head. So important. So if you can follow this step, this, you know, the exercise will really help you to reinforce your subconscious mind. And remember this, your subconscious mind, and Mustafa may debate this, but for me, I believe it's roughly about 85% of your total brain power is the subconscious mind. And then the 15% is your conscious mind. But we can obviously have a discussion about that once I've done my presentation. But for me, that's for me, good 85-95% of my total brain power. How I do things I have to do is through activating the subconscious part of my mind. That's how I am slowly but surely getting into my higher self, the best version of myself as a spiritual person, how I'm getting to a fifth dimensional spiritual way of living, how I'm getting into the ideal version of myself. I'm still work in progress, but I've come a long way the last 2 months, the last 6 months, the last 5 years by becoming aware of the subconscious part of your mind and really, really working it to your advantage, to your benefit. So when you get to the decisions in your day, like accomplishing sales goals, doing a workout, you know, your subconscious mind will identify with you the best version of yourself, okay? Losing weight, giving up smoking, you know, addressing your phobias, addressing unwanted habits, personal habits, working on your limiting beliefs, building your confidence, resilience. These are the things that you know you need to do something about. And these are the kind of things that as a CAM coach that if I'm working with a client, we're working with the subconscious part of the mind, but also relating it to the conscious mind. And then we can make the subconscious work more. Okay. So just before I'm finishing off my last 5 minutes, so just a couple of tricks again. Okay. 3 things. First of all, after waking up, your mind will be in a natural theta wave state from sleep. So it's easier to reach total relaxation. And I sometimes wonder, Sunil, why is it you produce the most brilliant ideas on work in the morning? Because that's when the theta waves are working, okay? And it could well be that I've woken up 5 in the morning, I've had a flash of inspiration, get my MacBook, flash it out, and I might be emailing Mustafa about 6 in the morning, and then I'll fall back to sleep again. That's fine. That's okay. I've activated the subconscious part of the mind at that time. Now, say, for example, after work, you know, or after a day's work, or after a day's homeschooling, okay? Now, you can achieve this. You can get into your subconscious mind by relaxing, unwinding, putting the kettle on, having a cup of tea, your favorite hot drink, beverage, physically putting your feet up, relaxing your body, let your body sink, okay? Because when do you, the viewer, give time for you rather than everything else, okay? So try and get into the state. It's harder to achieve this relaxed state because your mind is fully conscious when you come from work. You think, oh God, this spreadsheet, that work, this thing, that thing, because your conscious mind is overloaded. Relax it, try and forget the day, try and just compartmentalize it for the time being, get into relaxation, get into the subconscious mind. And then before you go to bed, so important, which is why lots of people I work with, they have problems with sleeping, insomnia, because they're allowing their conscious minds to carry forward the stress of the day, the stressful meeting, the tense meeting with the manager, an altercation with your child, whatever it might be, or you've seen your bank balance and you're worried about your financial situation. That's fine, okay. But then you can't do anything about those things now except get into a relaxed state and let your subconscious mind be activated. And you never know, it may give you a solution. It may give you something for you to talk to somebody about or find it on the internet, okay? Sometimes our exploratory urges when we want to find something, maybe on the internet or in a book, comes from the subconscious mind giving us something to think about, okay? So it's really important that you get into a relaxed state. I mean, you can do specific meditations for getting into a sleep state, or just for you to be able to influence your subconscious mind, because then that if you can do meditations to influence your sleep, which could also influence your dreams. If you want to have a dream about how you can become successful, how you can propose to your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever it might be, then you never know. If you work on your subconscious mind before you go to sleep, the answer might come in a dream. And I have to say, sometimes when I have dreams, I get answers. I think, oh my God, that is the answer. I didn't think about it. And suddenly I wake up thinking, oh, I must write this down. I have been known to get up from my sleep 3 a.m. and an idea from my brain has come. Oh, right, where's Samsung Notes on my phone? I've got to write this down, otherwise I'll forget it, and then I'm going to fall back to sleep again. Okay? So your mind is taking full inventory of what's happening that day. So it's tough to stay focused, but try visualizing your perfect day, as it will be harder to stop it from wandering, okay? Because we have wandering minds. But wandering minds, fine, it's okay, but it does need to be funneled in a certain direction. Okay then, right. So Mustafa, that really brings an end to the presentation. So I'm now going to switch back to yourself for your thoughts and observations and comments from that presentation about how we can possibly use the subconscious mind to influence our goals.
Sure, Sunil. What it is, you now contextualize the way conscious and subconscious mind work, and your tartar sauce is a very good example to sort of think to yourself or talk to yourself why you don't like it or why you like it. In your case, you didn't like it. Now, what information or lesson I extract from this example is that I take the whole thing and put in another context. It can be not food. It can be something like postponing things, procrastinating. Where are the reasons for you to delay things that you do want to do? You plan to do, but you delay. You think of you want to do, you don't. So
yeah.
This is by contextualizing some actions we want to take, but we don't take, then we understand in that the role of subconscious, how it is affecting our conscious mind, and then they are getting together and doing the villain thing. They are not doing it. They are not enabling us to do it, do the thing that we want to do. So contextualizing the way conscious, subconscious operate is good, that the audience can learn quicker about their roles.
Yes.
And also they can take care of, they control their the way unconsciously they are doing things or not doing.
Yeah.
Yes. So contextualizing is important. Has importance in terms of understanding conscious and subconscious.
Yes.
Obviously, we in the coming lessons we need to delve into more of the role of these 3 elements in our brain: is conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. If we think more of mapping out their individual working ways, and then how they are interacting with each other, these 3 compartments, then I think it will be great for the audience to get a grip with actual NLP aspect.
Mm, yes, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So it's definitely something that we could do further podcasts on, in giving the audience, further practical examples of how they can access their subconscious part of their mind,
Correct.
make it work for them. Because I don't think people may, some people may, but some people may not realize the full potential of it. And do you think that it'd be good to do a podcast on the brainwaves as well and how they all work?
Uh, what I would like to say, that's definitely yes.
Yes.
I think if we connect the role of the way the brain waves happen and
Yeah.
their role
Yeah.
to conscious, subconscious, unconscious,
Yes. Yeah.
and in that topic, if we also think the notion of awareness,
Yes, that's very, very powerful. Awareness. It's all about awareness. I think life
without
is about awareness. The power
yeah,
of now.
yes,
Eckhart Tolle comes to mind.
yes,
He's
without
always talking about awareness, isn't he?
sort
Mm.
of the from a wider aspect to the narrower
Yeah.
subject
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
awareness
Yeah.
and brain waves,
Yeah.
the way they affect conscious,
Mm.
unconscious, and subconscious, then it will become a very good tool for the
Yes.
audience to be able to apply
Yeah.
to their everyday lives.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we want. We want people to be able to, gain some insight for them to be able to maybe consider different ways of thinking about things, doing things, and
Yes,
obviously directly applying it. So this content, for them to directly apply it to their lives, specifically their situation with their partners, with their husbands, their wives, their children, their managers, their wider family, friendships, whatever it might be, whatever's going on in their lives. We want them to apply it, and then obviously to give us feedback that yes, this worked, this didn't work, and let's have a discussion about it. But this is how we learn together, and we learn collectively. We really would like to have some feedback from the audience, so then it'll also influence our choice of podcast themes as well. But definitely great. Are there any final points you'd like to make, Mustafa, before we close out this segment?
um, I think I will go back again um, on the role of subconscious, the
Mm.
way it affects conscious, and the way it acts between conscious and unconscious,
Yeah, yeah.
and controls
Mm.
our behavior and our decisions,
Yeah.
uh, is the key area that we need to maybe narrow down and do a bit of repeated contextualization.
Yeah, we will do that. I think it's a really good idea. We'll keep doing that again
Uh,
in the Mind series. So I think we can.
Context in a imagine a positive atmosphere,
Mm,
a negative surroundings, an individual to individual, and individual as part of a public
mm.
or group. If we sort of make these one by one talking points, then uh, I think it will be a good roundup.
Fantastic. That's great. Thank you so much for that feedback. So we're now coming to the end. So I just want to thank Mustafa for joining me again, and we will do another podcast very soon. And please, if you like watching these videos and you would like to receive them on a regular basis, please do subscribe to my channel, Life Genius, and remember to click the notification box as well. Which is really, really important, the actual bell icon. And please do read the information in the content description as well, so you can access further resources and support. And you can also get in direct contact with myself or with my special guest, Mustafa. And also, please do leave your comments below, because we'd love to receive your feedback as to, how the content, has resonated with you, whether you think you've made some changes as a result of watching videos like this or other ones that we've done in our Mastering the Mind series. So please do comment. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, thank you, Mustafa. See you next time.
Thank you.